Embrace It, the community podcast exploring the intricacies of personal growth, mental health, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Topics tailored for a global audience. Now, let's talk about it with your host, Bracy Goodwin.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is having a good Sunday here. The weather's a little yucky on our end here in Texas, but I hope your weather is pretty good here. But so welcome again to another Embrace It Community podcast. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone for listening in to the podcast because it means a lot. It does mean a lot to me. And so it's important that if I can get you all to share and follow the page. Of course, follow the page on the platforms. You got the Embrace It Community Podcast page. You have the YouTube page, right? And then you also have the Instagram page for it as well. So I just want you to know those are the avenues that you can follow and share and send the message, because my topics may not be about gossip that's going on in the world today. My topic is about the community and how to help the community. And so, you know me as being an advocate for 988 suicide prevention. That number 988 sticks with me all the time. 988 stays with me because I talk and I'm a big advocate for suicide prevention. Suicide Prevention Crisis Hotline is open 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's there in English and in Spanish, okay? So what I need you to do is take this number and store it somewhere. It may not be you, but it might be somebody you know that might need this. And so most of the time when someone is dealing with this mental health issue, it's not on the surface. It's always, underlined somewhere. So just be a good listener. Really, that's the best way you can do it. And, just have it handy just in case you need it. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm a big advocate on this. And my next show next week, we're talking about, we're focusing on sexual abuse as well. And so what I need you all to do is listen. This is what's going on. Healing is the light. We're talking about that next week, addressing the sexual abuse in faith communities, in the church. That's going to be a good show next week. So I'll tell you more about that at the end before we get off the air. So, but this week, today we are doing a thing called family. And family is so important to me. Growing up as a child, it's always been important, and having family is important. But somehow or another, we have slipped away. But I'll get into that a little bit more detail about it. So, but hello to you again if you're watching. You're watching live too. Hello to my family in Dominican Republic. Hello to my people that are watching in Pakistan, and then also in Nairobi, Kenya too. I want to say hello to you and then all of those locals here that are joining in. Today, I want you to join in. And let's get some questions going too, because when you talk about family, there's going to be some questions. There's going to be some concerns. So we're going to want to talk about it. We're going to want to talk about it and see what can we do about connecting and reconnecting the family. How can we salvage anything to be salvaged if there's anything there? And then we talk about one time in counseling I had went to, it's called a banana split, when the family goes two separate ways, husband and wife divorce and things like that happen. So what do we do? What do we do in those cases there? So it's a lot of good information. So I'm going to be following the chat. My producer is going to be following the chat as well. And we are going to be just, inviting the questions, because this is going to be one of those subjects where you might have some questions. And we'll see if we can talk about it. And then if you want to join the show, we can get you on the show as well. If you have some questions coming in live, just put down I want to join the show and I want to see what's going on. And on your mind. And let's talk about what's going on in your mind. We'll get you on the show, get you in. We'll send you the link real quick and get you in and get you going. My cousin is supposed to join us tonight. She might be having some technical difficulties because she just mentioned to me I'm ready, but I'm using my phone. Okay, so she's using her phone. She might still be able to join in. Let me see, Andrea, can we still get her in if she is on the phone using her phone? Can we send her a link to her phone number maybe and see if that'll get her in because she's having some problems getting in? I'm not sure, but we'll try to get her in and let's see what we can do. But bless her heart for trying to get in, anyway. If we can't get her in, of course, we'll try another way. Definitely getting in. I'm inviting my family that's watching as well, and my extended family that's watching as well. Shoot some questions, throw them in here, throw them in the chat. But we're going to talk about how family has changed so much in so many different areas. Let's see what else is going on in our community. We talked about next week, this week, mental health awareness. We're going to stay on mental health awareness. We need to be staying on mental health awareness actually more than the month of May because we know that we're dealing with it. Hello to Aquanetta that's watching as well. I'm noticing people jumping on now. So the questions, throw the questions in the chat and let's get the questions up here so we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. That's what this is all about. This is what I like to do. I want to talk about it. I want to hear what your feeling is about what we need to talk about. So throw the questions in. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to listen to your questions and your concerns that you might have. Because I've always had some questions that never were answered in the family, and for some reason or another, I don't know if it was a generational thing or whatever, but certain families didn't like to talk about things about the family, especially as we were younger, coming up and trying to get answers and questions answered and about who's who and what's what. And where's this one coming in? We couldn't get answers for some reason or another. And what is that about? What is that about? I don't know. I really don't know. So throw your questions in here if you have some. And if you want to, let's see, let me look at the comments here. If you want to join in on the show, let me know. And let's see if we can get you in here. And my producers in the background watching and looking at the questions as well. But I'll start it off. I started off with the one that I've noticed to be the biggest one in our community. The family connections before digital distractions. What were we doing? What were we doing before digital? Before the smartphones came into play? What was going on with the family back then? How was the family keeping up with each other before the digital distractions? Okay, how were we interacting back then? Do we miss it? Do we want that back? Do we miss it? Do we like it? Or was it even when the phones started getting smarter and the caller ID showed up? There was some family members and you was like, I'm not answering it, send it to voicemail. There ain't nobody but my cousin or whoever calling, a family member that you just didn't want to talk to. But before the digital impact, before the caller ID, if that phone rang, somebody in the house was running to grab the phone. And I remember sometimes, grabbing the phone and saying, hello, who's calling? And then yelling out, Ma, such and such is on the phone. And she would get angry because she didn't want to talk to that person for whatever reason it was. But that was family. But there was always the family gatherings in my neighborhood, in my home, the block parties. I don't know if you remember the block parties that took place. We wasn't concerned about anything negative happening, but the family came together. We gathered at somebody's house in somebody's backyard. I don't care if they lived in the projects. I didn't care who it was. I was watching a YouTube video where even people like, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, in Fort Greene projects, and everybody in the Fort Greene projects 30 Fleet Walk looked out after each other. And so we were family. Everybody that was in the building, it didn't matter if you were Black, you were white, Hispanic, we were family. And that was it for us. Antoinette, yes, family is not necessarily, I don't have my glasses on, not necessarily blood. It's who loves you and is there for you when you need them. That is so, and that's, hold that statement right there, because I'm gonna get to that a little bit later, Antoinette. That's good because I thought it was just me thinking that, Antoinette, about, you know, you now have that extended, we call it extended family. Is that the right word for it? Because we're now building a family around them because these are the people that in your life that's showing you that they love you and they genuinely care for you and they got you, you know, in the good times and the bad times. And we used to say blood is thicker than water, but I'm starting to disagree with that statement. For real, for real. And you can challenge me tonight on that if you want to, but I am starting to believe that water is thicker than blood in this time that we're living in because of the way everything is in the days and times. And if you think I'm wrong, hey, let me know. Come on, go to the chat. Challenge me on that. I want to know. But for me, water is thicker than blood. Okay. And I'm not bashing anybody in my family. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. I'm just going by what I've experienced. I'm just going by what I'm dealing with today. You know, water is thicker than blood, you know? So, and for whatever reason, it doesn't cause me any sleepless nights anymore. It doesn't disturb me anymore that I'm now on my own, discovering and moving on and building and getting a new family and all. It doesn't bother me. And I don't care if I've done it once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It doesn't matter as long as I get it and get it the way I want it. That's what matters to me. It doesn't matter what anybody say. I don't care what people say anymore. I really don't care what people say. You're entitled to your opinion, and that's that I'm going to live my life and I'm going to be happy in my life. I'm going to have peace in my life. And I hope everybody does the same thing. But this is that digital distractions. Let's talk about that. So now, in order to hear from people in your family, you might only just get a text, or you might only just get a phone call once every 2 or 3 months. You might only get a phone call on holidays. You might only get a phone call that time. Never. Some people are dealing with that in their family. They never get calls anymore. So that's why I want to talk to you about that. What's going on with the family? Why have we fell apart? And I'm not going to just blame it all on the digital distractions, but something happened. And I'm believing it's going back to the generation. This is a generational curse thing. This is definitely a generational curse thing where I've seen some stuff happen when I was a kid in my family, and I didn't understand why they were happening and why there was so much envy, jealousy, and fighting and fussing and cussing and gossiping, you know, but these things took place, you know, in the family. And I believe it took place in everybody's family. But why? Why did it take place? Not all families, but in some families it took place, you know. So, but whatever happened to that family? We are family. And I got all my brothers and sisters with me, and we're going to make it through hell or high water. We're going to be together as family. But like I said, growing up in Brooklyn, in the building, 30 Fleet Walk, everybody was family. Somebody's door was always open. Mom would say, go borrow a couple of sugar from Miss Green. And so we go downstairs, and Miss Green, Mom, need a cup of sugar. And she'd get a cup of sugar, and we'd take it back upstairs. So everybody looked out for each other. If someone couldn't pay their rent in the building, we would throw a party. There would be a party, a house party, a rent party, they called it, to raise money. And everybody that came had to give $2, $3, whatever it was, to help them raise that money for rent, you know. So we looked out for each other. And of course, this was in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, but something happened. It fell off there. Okay, so got another question here. It says, my brother Ricky, back then, family time was the best way to get along with each other. And now it's difficult because everyone has their own life. And that's what he sees. He says, everybody has their own life. Yes, we do. We all got our own life. But before the technology, we were checking on family. When they would come to our mind, we would still reach out and say, hey, fam, how you doing? You know, so do you find yourself, Ricky? Do you find yourself, Antoinette, Aquanetta, answer this question. Do you find yourself now reaching out and talking to your extended family, which is your friends, more than you do your family? Or is it kind of balanced? Help me out. Is it a balanced thing or what? You know, tell me, we were the glue, and when they were gone, stuff falls apart. Right. The matriarchs, yes, they it's the big mama. They talk about grandma. We talk about grandma, big mama, Nana, all of them. They kept the families together, and we've seen the movies, family, a lot of Medea movie and everything like that. It was all about what Big Mama did, and kept the family together. So because we had Big Mama, and now Big Mama's no longer here, or Grandma's no longer here, who is supposed to step up to that plate now? Who is supposed to keep the family together? Who is that one? It doesn't have to be always Big Mama. It could be Uncle Bracy. It could be anybody. But what's going on? Why are we not doing that? And these days and time, I think this is a time now where we should be getting together and joining together more than anything now as a family, more than ever. The old saying, a family that prays together stays together. But for some reason, are we praying? That's the question. Is family still praying for one another? Or is family gossiping about each other? Is the family praying for each other? Is the family judging each other? There was a lot of judgmental stuff that went on back in the day because somebody had a house and they didn't, and there's a lot of stuff. But I miss those days. I miss the good times where you would come over and family was in the backyard and listening to music, and somebody would buy a bag of chicken wings or chicken legs, and somebody would bring some soda, and somebody would bring the alcohol, and whatever went on, and they gathered together. The ones that could cook, the other ones that couldn't, didn't. And so we had a good time. But what happened to that? I don't know about you. I miss that. I miss that with family. And so now you are looking at, where do we go from here? So we talked about the digital distractions. That's part of it. That everybody now just wants to text you instead of calling you. All right. Everybody feels that way about that now. Dr. Hill, William Hill, my good buddy, the absence of accountability has eroded honest communication and trust. Yes, it has, man. The accountability, it's not there anymore. Where did it go? Where did the accountability go? Because like I said, before the technology, we would make sure we would check in on each other. Where did it go? The honest communication and trust. So now, is there no more honest communication because of smartphones and technology? Why do we have to see how another family member is doing only on social media? Why do we have to see that? Why couldn't we just get a phone call like we used to and share the good news and share the happiness before we would see it on social media? What happened here? What's going on? What is going on in our families now that we're only relying on the smartphones? I'm at a point now in my life where I could turn my phone off for the whole day. When I get done with work sometime, I would shut my phone, do not disturb. And I have my favorites who are family members who I know that are close to me in this pocket right there, that if something was needed, they could be able to reach out. But are we all turning into a do not disturb generation? Is this now a do not disturb? Really, do not disturb me? Is this sleep? If you got an iPhone, you can do not disturb or sleeping. Are you really at that point where, you're not going to do it? Or are you just not really answering the call, or you really don't want to have anything to say? What are you holding on to bring you to that conclusion? I don't want to talk to them. What are you holding on to? But there's some things that you're holding on to that keeps you from talking. And that's just straight out. That's straight on out. But hey, don't forget to subscribe and rate and review the podcast. Okay, please join the community. Join us on social media. Continue to conversation and support one another in our journeys and transformation. Don't forget. And then also, I do have a Cash App that I'm now putting up there. This will be my first time putting it up there, second time on next week as well. To help support this here mission that I'm on, because I'm trying to reach so many people. And everybody knows that it's costing. None of this stuff is going in my pocket. It's going right to the community podcast. So here's my email address as well. embraceitcommunitypodcast@gmail.com. You can email me, talk to me that way as well about topics that you might want to discuss. Throw it in there. And then there's the Cash App for me as well. And put it on there. I want to take this and take it to a larger audience. And I can only do it with you. and hopefully you will support the cause there, though. But okay, so now, where are we? Where are we? What do we need to do to keep the families connected? Okay, what do we need to do when family bonds are tested? When family bonds are tested, here comes that inheritance in that property. And I'm only talking about this. I'm going to be transparent when it comes down to this. And I've talked to my loved ones about the things that I've experienced with why do people make a difference in their children and their siblings? We heard the saying, the black sheep of the family. Why does that happen? Why do you think someone becomes the black sheep of the family? Well, we still love them, but they're the black sheep of the family. And it's shown that they're the black sheep of the family because there's a difference being made in that individual. And like I said, transparency is the best way to help you. So I'll be transparent where I was the black sheep of the family, and experience a lot of showing the difference between who I am compared to my other family members. And the stuff that I went through is a miracle, and it's nothing but the grace of God that I'm still here today to be able to tell you and talk to you about this, because the way society says I am the product of my environment, or, here I am being my dad, Bracy Goodwin IV, and I'm supposed to turn out like my dad, but I didn't. But that was nothing but God, okay? Aquanetta, she is just putting in here, we are family regardless. I'm going to put my glasses on, please. We are family regardless. There are so many things that disconnected us. There is a lot of things that have disconnected us, and it's the little, believe it or not, the little small things that we're going to talk about that disconnected us, that you will not believe that will disconnect you. I believe one of the major things that is the value and importance of family is not being taught. It's no longer being taught here. You're right. It's not being taught. Secondly, we have unreasonable and unrealistic expectations sometimes of family. And when we get disappointed, we go away. Okay, you mistyped that there. Disown. Oh, I'm sorry. I can see that from my glasses. Sorry, disown family. So yes, that happens. We get disappointed. We start to disown folks, and things like that take place where I don't want to talk to you because it's the little things. And I've heard this happen. At a funeral. I'm not talking to anybody in my family more because they didn't put down my grandchildren's name, or they misspelled my grandchild, or they forgot my aunt's name. Family will fall out over things like that. And then she says, it's just the little things. And so where does all of this stem from? Where does it come from? Is it generational? Is it a spirit of envy? Is it a spirit of jealousy? Because all of these are spirits. This thing you're talking about it's spiritual. This is all spiritual stuff that you deal with, because it's dealing up here in your mind. You're not walking around with a shirt on saying, I'm jealous, I'm envy. It's a spirit that you carry, and it spills out in your walking and in your talking. Let's see, Antoinette said she was the black sheep of her family as the only adopted child. Wow. I was treated differently, and I always knew I was different. Why? Just because you were adopted and you were treated different. So bullying didn't just start in school. Bullying started at home. Bullying started right in your home. Because you are the black sheep of the family, or you adopted, you are now being bullied and treated different. I watch a lot of the old movies that come on TV now, or from back in the days, the 70s, and I watched one just yesterday. It was really, really, really good, about three sisters and another sister, and it was good, and one of them was being bullied. But see, now this was in the 60s. This movie was in the 60s, so this has been going on for a very long time, a very, very long time. But how do we stop this? How do we change this? Are we just going to say, just let it go? Let it go? Right. Ricky said it's all about the attitude. How do we change our attitude? How do we change the attitude of family members? How do we now walk into the house of the family and say, hey, how y'all doing? And hope to get a response, because some people that you walk into their house, they won't even speak to you. Not all families, but this is what I've encountered. That's what I'm seeing here. And, you know, I've gone places. I mean, I've visited other places where families are numero uno. Families is the world. I don't care what the father has done or what the mother has done. They're no longer together. And I'm only telling you this because this is what I'm experiencing. Okay, there's no, I'm not going to go spend time with my father because he's no longer married to my mother. I'm going to go still see my dad because that's my dad. I'm seeing this happen, you know, with family members that I've now gravitated to, you know, and so I'm seeing it that you still can love on each other, no matter what happened in the banana split, no matter what it was. You still should all come together. And it shouldn't just be just because of a childbirth or someone passes away, because we know what happens when someone dies. What happens? That's the time everybody's getting together. Okay, that's the time. Let me see. I want to play this quick video. It's got a video I want to show you. Lawrence Fishburne also found out about his family members. This is a quick video, and I want you to show it. I want to bring it in here. I'm trying to get my cousin to come in because she's trying to find out. So PBS has great shows. Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. It's good, man. If you don't watch the PBS, try turning on that channel and watching Finding Your Roots. Man. This is some good stuff that I'm finding. All right, so listen, I want to share this video. Check it out. All right, let me know what you think here about this with Lawrence Fishburne and his family, what he was able to find out.
In April of 1861, when he was about 20 years old, the Civil War erupted. Roughly 19 months later, with the outcome still very much in doubt, the Union finally began recruiting African Americans into the Army. And Lawrence's ancestor heeded the call.
27 USCT Paul Sandridge, Private Company C, where enlisted? Portsmouth. When mustered in? January 19th, 1864. Where mustered in? Columbus.
Your great-great-grandfather enlisted in the Union Army.
And fought.
And fought.
God bless you.
What's it like to know that?
That's fantastic.
180,000 black men joined the United States Colored Troops to fight for the freedom of all their unfree brothers and sisters.
Right. My great-grandfather was one of them.
That's right.
Wow.
How about that?
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
Cece and I started with a story that I've told many times before. It begins at the Rose Hill Cemetery in Cumberland, Maryland. My grandfather, Edward Gates, was buried here on July 2nd, 1960, when I was 9 years old. Following the funeral, my father showed my brother and me a photograph of Edward's grandmother, a woman named Jane Gates. Jane is my great-great-grandmother, and seeing that photograph would change my life. He showed us this photograph, and he said, "This is the oldest Gates on record." Her name was Jane Gates. She was a midwife, and she was a slave.
And you hadn't heard about her before this?
Never, I'd not heard about her before. This is the oldest Gates on record. This is exactly what he said. Mm-hmm. I never want you to forget her name, and I never want you to forget her face. And we looked at it, and this is like, it looked like an Martian. She was so strange. She was dressed in her midwifery outfit. And the next day was July 3rd, 1960. Mm-hmm. And that night, I interviewed my mother and father about what only years later I learned is called your family tree or your genealogy. And that was it. I was in it hook, line, and sinker. And I never lost the fascination with my own family tree. Never. Perhaps ironically, the woman who sparked this fascination also harbored my family's biggest secret. Growing up, I was told that Jane had 5 children and that they all had the same father, but that Jane never told anyone his name. My family spent years trying to identify this man, speculating wildly, before finally settling on one likely candidate, a wealthy white landowner named Samuel Dunlap Brady. Try as we might, however, none of us could find records to confirm this story. And Cece proved it wrong. She built a genetic network using DNA from my oldest relatives and discovered that Jane's youngest child, my great-grandfather Edward, was fathered by a man named Charles Wesley Kelly.
So, when you think about this here, and I didn't want to keep going on and on with it, but that's the PBS talks about your family roots and everything like that. I believe if you are able to watch that and start looking up your family roots, you'll see some similarities in some of the things that you may not have known. Like, for example, my family history, I'm Bracy Goodwin IV, so I had to figure some things out on my own, going back in time and time and time. And I find myself doing some things and started getting treated a certain way in my family, my mom, but I had no clue why she was treating me that way. And then she sat me down and told me one day why she treated me the way she treated me. And it was because of my father, because she had so much hatred for my father because of the way he treated her. So because of my DNA, it was my walk, my talk, my whole demeanor. I started getting treated bad because of my mother, thinking, oh, he's just like his father. So I guess she felt she can beat it out of me without even telling me what it was. So imagine getting beat, you didn't know what you're getting beat for. But anyway, that's that family stuff. So we tried to stay connected to my family side. My family side, my Aunt Mary, my oldest father's sister, the only sister, Aunt Mary Smith, she's still living to this day, sharp as ever, and I do talk to her from time to time. And she shares some things about our family as well, as much as she could remember. And so just trying to figure out where did we all fall off at, and how could we all just bring it back together. Now, I have children. Now, my children are growing up, and I want them to know about my side of the family as well. So, but when I talked about the family bonds that are tested because of inheritance and properties, it's tested when someone dies and leaves someone something. You didn't get it and they got it, or your name wasn't put down in the will and somebody else in the family name was put down in the will. We've all experienced some trauma behind that, and we became bitter and angry about it. But let me help you with that. If your name wasn't on there, they didn't leave anything, let it go. Let it go. Don't allow that to disturb your peace of who you are. Let it go. Because this didn't start at the funeral. This started way before the reason why your name wasn't on there. So I just want to share that with somebody because, like I said, dealing with the stuff that I'm dealing with, let it go. Ricky says it takes God to be the one that will show you how to be different, change your way to get closer and be different. Ricky, and that is so true. You've got to get closer to God. If nothing else, you need to get closer to God. Something that I heard in the sermon this morning about, once you become transparent about some of the things that that you've done wrong in life, and that's the healing process to start everything, because a lot of stuff that we've done was in your DNA. You didn't even know it. And so that divides family. That will divide your family. So when it comes down to family inheritance, disputes can reveal deeper family dynamics, and sometimes create lasting rifts between siblings. Take it from me, let it go. And let me challenge. I see people online. I'm gonna challenge you. I want to challenge everyone that's on here and everyone that's listening. I'm gonna challenge you right now. This ain't even in my script. I challenge everyone that's listening right now to go into your smartphone and text someone that you haven't talked to in your family in a long time. Text them, say hello, thinking of you, and I love you. Don't say I love you if you don't mean it, but you should. You should still love them regardless. So I challenge you to do that. And when you do it, just drop it in the chat. Done. Let me know that you did it. I mean, I challenge everybody. I challenge my producer. Lord, he's sitting on here too. I'm gonna challenge everybody. Let me see if I can send, while we're texting, can we send my cousin a link to her phone? Can we do that? Is there a way that we can send her the link? Or is it just her email? Send it to her email and see if she can open up on the phone. I'll let her know. Go to your email on your phone and open it up. So text somebody. All right, text somebody and let them know that you now. I'm not talking about somebody you saw in church today. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the one that you see every day. But no matter what it is, I don't care what it is. I challenge you to break that curse of I'm not talking to them because of. I challenge you to do it, and I did it with one of my family members. And I'm not bashing any families at all. I love my family, whether they love me or not. I love them because I love me. I say that all the time. So I challenge you. I challenge you to text somebody in your family who hurt you, done something to you, said something about you, treated you a certain way, misused you, abused you. Text them, I love you, regardless. Okay? Open up that dialogue with them and see if they return the text. And if they don't, let it be well with your soul that you did what you needed to do, that you did what was asked to do. But let that be well with your soul. When I'm saying well with your soul, let that be your peace that you needed so that you can sleep better. Text a family member and tell them that you love them. If you're on here watching, I challenge you to do it. I challenge you to do it. Text them so that it'll be well with your soul, because God forbid you're holding on to something about a family member and today will be your last day. And you'll never get that opportunity again. So, my boy, Kevin Keelan, I'm sorry, bro. Keelan Bowles, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I knew he was going to do it because he was the one that inspired me about this whole conversation too, about family members and talking about why our family don't get together until somebody dies or something like that. And so this is another reason why I'm doing this today, because it should not be because someone died. Working on letting it go. Felicia, thank you for your transparency. I appreciate that. It takes time. It takes time to let some stuff go because it hurts. You're going to cry. You're going to shed some tears. You might say some things. You might scream. I remember seeing that in my family with my stepfather, his daughters. He had 3 daughters. He did not even go to the mother's funeral when the mother had died. And the oldest sister had to raise this baby daughter. Thank you, Felicia. Done. She had to raise the daughter. When they came to the house, and I was so young, I was about 15 years old. Oh, I remember hearing her screaming at him, "Why didn't you call us?" 3 daughters that this man hid. He hid this from my mother for a very long time. That was so ignorant and distasteful as a black man. Listen, I got children, and I know my children, and I talk to my children all the time. The ones that were when I was married, the ones that when I was not married to. So I talk to my children and I reach out to them and I let them know that I exist and I love them and I care for them as well, because I never want to see this happen to me what I heard happen in coming up as a kid, why family members didn't talk to people because of whatever. You hide and stuff and you carry around all this baggage. Don't you know that's a mental issue as well? All of this stuff is mental that we deal with. And not a lot of people are just holding on to mental stuff that's keeping them from living, keeping them from even breathing right or walking right. And it's making them sick. And you can see it on their face. You can see it in their hair. You can see it on their clothing and the way they carry themselves. And just by the way they talk, you can smell it on their breath. The stink that people carry around with them. I'm going deep today. Like I said, I don't care what anybody say, but I'm so tired of family falling apart because of something so little, something so minute, because they didn't speak, because my name wasn't on their will. And I didn't get this, If I would have treated my mother differently, I would be transparent. When my mother sold her property in New York, when she moved to Texas, she sold the property. She gave my sister a dollar amount, gave my brother the same dollar amount, and gave me the lesser dollar amount. That didn't stop me from loving my mother. That didn't stop me from talking to my brothers and sisters, because that didn't matter to me. Family meant more than a dollar to me. That's how I handled it. But I knew for some reason I was being, treated that way. But it didn't bother me enough where I stopped, because that was the relationship I had with God that kept me from going that way. You got to have a relationship with a higher calling than your just self, because if not, you're going to find yourself wrecking yourself over family members and people and what they're saying and all of this stuff, So those of you who've done it, thank you for putting in there in the chat, done. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for going there, but I needed to get that out. I needed to really, really get that off my chest. Like I said, this wasn't even a script. And then I'm not going to keep you longer. The fourth one I wanted to talk about was redefining family. Okay, you got your divorces and now you got your blended families, and we called them at one time banana splits. And sometimes that can cause a division with the children. That can cause division with your family members, the families that you used to be close to on this side and the other side. Not me. I'm still going to reach out and love on my ex-wife's mother. I'm going to love on them because, it's you can't carry this divorce on your back and saying, I'm divorced, so I'm no longer going to speak to people. I got fired, so I'm no longer going to speak to people. I'm drinking. I got all this stuff going on because of the things that you've been through. If you were able to wear everything that you've gone through and show it, and you're still able to smile with all the stuff that you carried and you're showing under that, something like that really say, wow, that's a strong man, that's a strong woman for doing the things that they do. So when your family breaks up, you have your divided family, divorces and blended family, still send the love, still love on them, still check on them, love on the mother-in-laws, the father-in-laws if they're still living. If you were close to the uncles and the aunts, talk to them, love on them as well. Because I tell you, you will feel so much better when you learn how to do this. It takes time. I haven't always been there. I was not always there. But if it wasn't for my relationship and being a believing God, I would not be here sitting here talking to you about this today, because I'd be like, I'm going to give them the finger and keep on walking. I'm just being transparent. Yeah, but but for the grace of God, He changed my whole thinking and way of being. So I have nothing else to do but to send the same energy back to you and tell you what to do to free yourself. So take some time out tonight, tomorrow, this week, and think about some of the things that you're holding on to and figure out a way how you can let them go. And once you're able to let them go, you can love better than what you're loving now. So think about this. Any more questions for me before I let you go? Because it's a Sunday night and I don't want to hold you too long. Any more questions for me? Let me see if I got any more in the comments. Let's see here. Let me put my glasses on. Can we put this question up here, or the statement by Equinetta, so I don't have to put my glasses back on for the social media? Thank you. It may seem trivial to us on the outside, but we all can agree that there is so much brokenness in us individually and collectively. We weren't taught to seek help until now, until someone decides to heal, this will continue. And that is so true. Growing up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, we wasn't taught to do this. Let's see. Lynn finally got in the group. Oh gosh, I wish I could get her on here. Can we get her on here by any way? Because I know she's on watching, but we can't bring her. I can't get her on here because I'm streaming, and I wish I could get her on here live just to hear her voice. She is so powerful with family knowledge, love, healing, and restoring, because this is just who she is. But she says here, you'd be surprised how some of your siblings hold on to their feelings because of little things done as youngsters. Yeah, that's when we were kids. The little stuff that was done, like I said, made difference. The difference that was made, in us and to us. And, even when it came down to chores, there are some people in their family that's falling out because they had more chores to do than the other sibling had more chores to do. Believe it. It's happening. It has happened in this time and age in our culture. We're falling out because I was made to clean the whole entire house and you were allowed to go out and hang out with your friends. So I'm not your friend. I'm not talking to you now. Let that stuff go. If that's what it is, let it go. You got a new pair of shoes and I didn't. Guess what? I put cardboard in my shoes until I was able to go buy me some shoes and plastic bags. I had to put all of that in my shoes until I was able enough to provide for my own, because the only thing that taught me was how to be a man and how to provide for myself. And if you look in my closet today, I got more shoes than I probably ever wear. I still got shoes in there I don't wear because it traumatized me a little bit, but I made sure I got shoes now. So I'll never have to worry about that again. And some people laugh at me when they come to my house and they say, why you got so many cleaning products? And I'm traumatized by it because I was made to clean. All I had to do was clean. So I'm traumatized. Mental. I'm dealing with it. But I keep cleaning supplies. I got 4 bottles of Lysol spray. I got wipes beyond control. I went to my garage the other day. I got a whole box of wipes that I'm probably not even going to use because of the stuff that I was going through as a kid. But it didn't make me bitter. It just made me cleaner. What do they call it when you are? What do they call that? You got a problem with your AC. What is that called? Whatever it's called. But so I have a problem. I keep my house clean. I just can't do smells or anything like that because I was made clean. I had to be clean. So anyway, but that was then. This is now. I hope you feel better. I hope you are breathing easier. I hope you are thinking better. I hope this podcast made you smile and made you cry, made you wipe some tears away, and make you want to just live all over again, because life is not promised to us. I am 62 years old and I probably have I think I have, they used to say you with better days, you have more best days ahead of you than you did before. But I believe my best is still yet to come. I believe I got some better days coming. I'm telling you, I know I do. Stay tuned for that episode too, because I got some good things that's coming in my life and I'm excited about it. And I can't wait. I'm happy where I am. I sleep good. I feel good in everything that I do. Do I get angry? Yes. Do I get disappointed? Yes. But it only lasts for a moment because we're human. We're human in this thing. But next week, I want you to join in and watch next week's show that I recorded. It's the Healing is the Light. And we're addressing sexual abuse in the family and in the church and in our community. And if you can raise your hand with me while you're sitting here, you've probably been through some things too, like when it came down to sexual abuse too, by, people that just took advantage of you when you were a kid. And it's touching. It really is touching. Some of the things that I was hearing and watching, people how they're now being transparent about this. Check out some YouTube videos on that too. People are now telling the story. They're no longer afraid. So when you watch next week's episode and listen to the lady who I have on there that's coming on, she's a life coach, speaker. Margaret Mells, she's a life coach, speaker. But she had the chills running through my body when she told her story on the things that she's gone through as at the age of 15 years old. You know, like I said, we all have stories. We've all been through some stuff. But where has that allowed you to be today, mentally and physically? Okay, I'm hoping that you are doing okay. This is why, like I said, I talk about sexual abuse, I talk about suicide prevention, I talk about mental health, I talk about all of these things because I'm concerned about that. And that's what the community needs. The community don't talk about it anymore. When we were kids coming up, the only thing that we heard was, "You crazy, that boy crazy, go sit down somewhere. Girl, you crazy, look at you, you must be something wrong with you. Go sit down, shut your mouth." We couldn't talk, we didn't have a voice. I had to go to counseling and find out that I had a voice. So yeah, you do have a voice. So please do me a favor and follow us as well on the Community Podcast. Please follow the Facebook page, Embrace It Community Podcast page. Also on Instagram, TikTok as well. And then subscribe to YouTube. Please do share this. Share this. Do me a favor, share it. Share it. Share your family, share your friends. Share it to the ones you don't like. Share it to the family members you're not talking to. Share it to those, okay? Let me be the voice for you. I will do it. Let me be it, okay? So please follow us. Do me a favor, follow us. Be supportive to me. I would appreciate it if you would. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you tuning in tonight and watching this episode tonight, because it's some matters of the hearts a lot of people can't do that they're still working with, when it comes down to family. But we need family. We need family. Blood family, water family, next door family, above you family, under. We need the family. We need someone. We can't do this alone. It's not good that man or woman to be alone. We need family. You need someone that you can call family, someone that you can trust with your family concerns, someone that you can talk to and lean on and cry with, that you know that'll be the no judgment zone. They won't judge you. All right. So you need that in your life, So if you don't have that and you need that, we have counselors for you. Hit me up on my Embrace It Community Gmail, Embrace It Community Podcast @gmail.com. Shoot me an email if you need help. Just send me a message saying I need help. Send that to me and I'll get you pointed in the right direction you need to go. I don't need to know what it is. I don't need to know. Just let me know that you need help. Let me know that someone you know needs help, and we'll point them in the right direction, okay? My Cash App is also available if you want to sow, or nothing you will sow. If you want to donate, you want to donate to the cause here that I'm trying to do. All right, I appreciate you. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not asking you to lock the doors. I'm not asking for $20. I'm just asking you, out of the goodness of your heart, whatever that's led on your heart, just do it, okay? So also subscribe. YouTube, Embrace It Community Podcast page. And then YouTube as well, and Embrace It Community Podcast, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me. That's the only way we can get this word out. I appreciate you for joining in this evening. And like I said, I wasn't going to keep you long, but I was going to definitely talk about family. You want to hear some more about family? Let me know. Send me a message. Let me know if you want to talk more about your family. We can do it. We can talk about this all day and all night. I don't have a problem with it. I love talking. And guess what? I love listening. And guess what? I love you. Because I love me first. All right. So till we get together again on the next show, keep loving, keep laughing, keep smiling. And let's talk about it. All right. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to Embrace It, the Community Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Follow the Community Podcast page on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Please like and share the podcast with your community circle.